இன்றைக்கு கோகுலையா வருவாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பிரபோயா அப்படிதான் சொன்ன ஞாபகம்.
சரிங்க. முதல்ல
ஆமா. அதனால அவருக்கு யாராவது ஒருத்தர் கூப்பிட்டு நினைவூட்டல் கொடுத்துருங்க.
வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். Good morning and good evening to all. On behalf of Chicago Sky Trust Meditation Center, we welcome you all for today's introspection class. First class is going to be Karma Yoga, conducted by our senior professor, Arunidhi Bhagilakshmi Amma. We welcome Bhagilakshmi Amma for the class. வாழ்க வளமுடன் அம்மா.
வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன். Be blessed by the divine. ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேரிங் பண்ணிக்கட்டுமா?
பண்ணிடுங்கம்மா.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். இல்லையா ஆமாக்கு கோஸ்ட்
நான் உங்களை ஹோஸ்ட் ஆக்கிடுறேன்.
சரிங்க.
நான் இவர் சுந்தரமையா வந்திருக்காரு. நான் அவரை கவனிக்க போறேன். வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
அம்மா வாழ்க வளமுடன். கோஸ்ட் வந்திருக்குங்கம்மா.
This will stop other screen sharing. Do you want to continue?
Yes, Amma. Yes.
Okay, share. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Varga Valamudan. My pranams to one and all present here. With the grace of our Guru's blessings, let us start our today's introspection classes. And today we are going to discuss the topic Karma Yoga. Now, man has evolved as the culmination of natural wonders, and he is the peak of the transformational process. His knowledge is potentially omniscient, so as to develop ultimately to reach the super state of consciousness. So again, we have to think about our purpose of birth. So the purpose of birth is to develop our consciousness to its ultimate perfection, to identify self with the Almighty. That is the universal being. Now here, we can see a triangular one which is connected with the self, society, and nature. So man's life has a triangular coordination as shown here. And this triangle we are discussing from our introspection 1, and in so many places we discuss about it. So we are continuously analyzing with these 3 factors only. So why it is given like that? One should understand the relationship with society, and based on that he has to design his lifestyle. So when you take self, society, and nature, the self is body, soul, and mind. As the body, soul, and mind cannot one from the other, the self, society, and nature also cannot be separated. So, and to fulfill all our basic needs, must be in contact with society and nature. See, even otherwise, we can take it the society as law and order, and the nature as law of nature. The law and order keep changing. It changes person to person, or the government to government, nation to nation. There's a lot of changes, the law and order, right? See, for example, we can take when you go in a bike or the two-wheeler, one government will say you wear a helmet, it is a must. Then the next ruling party may say it is your wish. If you want, you go ahead, otherwise, no problem. But what the law of nature indicates there, when you go by a two-wheeler, if something happens, if you have a helmet, it will protect you. Your life will be saved. So the law of nature will not change for anyone at any places. It remains the same forever, for everyone. Whether X falls down or Y falls down, it is going to be the same effect. So here we have to think whether to wear a helmet or not. So like that, we have to connect each and everything, the law and order and law of nature, and move on with our life. Now here, man is an unique among all living beings on the earth. There's no doubt about it. By the force of habits, ecology, and environmental condition, he is doing sinful deeds which results in pain and miseries. We all must accept that many of us are leading only with a great distress and discomfort. By conflicts and competition, everyone seeks security for enjoyment of pleasure and survival too. As here, to come out of this, what we should do, a proper spiritual approach must be there to change the behavior of man and establish the world peace in Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga is the most suitable scientific method of living for us to enjoy happiness, satisfaction, harmony, and peace in life. So that is the aim of our Karma Yoga. Now here we get the Karma Yoga, which we can take it as two parts, karma plus yoga. Karma means deeds, whatever you do. Even the duty is included there. And yoga means virtuous. And karma yoga means virtue in all deeds. And see, on the whole, we can say that karma means actions of man with will. Yoga means virtuous life. What is virtuous life? A system of life which best suited for men with nature. And here you can see it's leading a virtuous life. Not only that, well aware of the consequences of all actions. What does that mean? Well aware. See, before doing any work in the sense before thinking, doing, saying, we must know the outcome of what we are going to do. We must know the result of it. So what actually we must do here, we must analyze and understand every thought, word and deed in advance, and we must calculate the effect. If it is good for everyone, then we can implement or we can proceed that. Now this Karma Yoga has two principles. One is sense of gratitude, or you can say gratefulness, or awareness of the consequences, that is consciousness about the cause and effect. This cause and effect system that is really needed for today's generation. See, when you do good, we get good things. When you do bad, we get only bad things. What you sow, you reap. So that to be understood by each and every person in this world. Now, when we talk, we said the first principle is gratitude, right? Sense of gratitude. So what is the gratitude here? Now, we are enjoying in this world in so many ways, and which gives pleasant for our physical body, mind, and wisdom. And we must thank the source through which that enjoyment comes to us. Now here they are given few, like we must express our gratitude to the divine state. We all know that everything, including ourselves, from the divine. And whatever we are today, it's only from the divine state. The positions, everything. So first we should express our gratitude to the divine state. And next comes the plants. No plants, no food. Right? The very basic need is food, right? So if there is no plants, finished. Our life is over. So there are how many types of plants? How many types of fruits we are getting? Vegetables we are getting, greens we are getting. That is only not only for food, even for our eyesight, colorful flowers, right? And when we enter into some garden, we see the arrangements of plants, and we enjoy ourselves. That gives us pleasant feeling, right? So we must express gratitude to the plants and women. Now here, we can see even in our family, women take a vital role as a mother, sister, life partner. And nowadays, even outside, they are helping in industries and officially. There's so many work, right? So they help us in all our situations. And women is entirely special. And actually, Swamiji used to say that when you take the population, and if you say 50% of the population are men, other 50% are donated by women. So, the gifted by women. So, we all are here only because of women. So, our next gratitude is only to women and the workers. Whatever, again, we can use the word, whatever we enjoy today, it is by the so many workers. See, I can just take an example, the current situation. Now, everywhere they announce use mask, use towels, right? And when you just to take a mask, it's only by say 5 to 6 centimeter length and 3 centimeter breadth or whatever it is. But how many people are working on it? The weaver, one who make the cloth, and the cloth goes to the seller, and from there the tailor gets, or the export company gets, from there they stitch it. So the tailor takes the roll there, and again from the tailor it comes to the shop. From there it goes to many places, and we are taking and using. And the elastic. So even if you take a simple thing, anything in what any things in that matter, whatever we are using, it is because of so many workers. So we must thank them. So we must express gratitude. And why to go beyond? We can just take our class today, right? We are all connected through online. how that is possible. So I'm in India, you all are in US, and so many other country people also can join. How we are not joining here? Only because of many people's effort, right? So it is our duty to thank them, and we must wait for a chance to give our thanks to them whenever there is an opportunity to show our gratitude. Without any hesitation, we must express. Now here comes the 5 duties. What is duty? Duty is only repaying of one's dues to the society. See, we enjoy so many things, right? With so many people's work we are getting. So at the time of birth, everyone comes with empty hands only. Say during childhood and adolescence, say from birth to 15 to 20 years, every person is provided with food, clothes, and education by others, by the society. That time, the society did not expect anything from us. Not only after 20 years, even after 70, 75 years, the same thing happens. We can't do anything to the society. We enjoy only from the society. So when we start working, say the between 20 to 70 years or 25 to 75 years, we must learn to contribute our services to the society. So this contribution, or we can say that each one should have an inclination to repay. This is called duty consciousness. So Swamiji usually say that repaying the due is the duty. Now here the 5 duties are self, family, relatives, country, and world. What are duty for ourselves? We are going to see later that our self is not only belongs to us, it belongs to the society. Because society has provided everything and everything, right? So we have no right to spoil our health or our mind. So to take care of physical body, we must do regular exercise and kaya kalpa, and to have a peaceful mind. And to serve people, we must do meditation. And to have a friendly relationship, we must do introspection. And with all this, we move on to family. Now we say we must do duty. Here, the family, we must take care of our parents, and we must take care of the life partner and children. Here, when I say parents, it's not only our parent, our life partner's parents too. See, in so many places, that is missing. And nowadays, they have one child, one mother, one daughter, one son. Like that. Where will they go if they? So, here parents means for both, right? Husband and wife. Husband should take care of wife's parents and wife should take care of husband's parents. So, all together it means. And relatives next. Relatives, here society. We get so many things from society. That's what we were discussing from the beginning. So it is our duty to repay it. And what can we do for the country? Dear Anne, we know the value of our thought force, right? So whatever is needed for our country, suppose we feel there is no proper education, think that there must be a person to implement a good education to all. The system must be changed like that. So every day, whatever we want, how the nation to be, how the country to be, and there should be a sports, how the sports to be organized, how it has to be implemented. All that, have it in your mind whenever you do our meditation. Say all the thoughts, and that will definitely come into progress one fine day. And we have a lot of that inequality problems, and there is no job for many people. So all that you can bring in your thought to say that all must get a job and everyone to lead a peaceful life. So when you talk about the peaceful life, that is applicable for the world. So every day, morning and night, during your meditation, we must think about only the world peace. The world must get peace. How the world will get peace? Only when they understand our Vedatriyam. So here we must add on the Vedatriyam, that all the 14 principles and 7 conditions also to be implemented, that should reach every person, and it should reach the leaders, and the leaders should analyze, and they should accept each and every point what is given in Vedatriyam by our Swamiji Vedatri. And like that, when we give the thought force, that is the duty for us to bring the world into peace. Now, this is what from the society we enjoy everything. So, when you start doing that without expecting anything from anyone, see, I enjoyed so many things from the society. Now it's my turn to repay. I'm doing my duty, and I don't want anything in return. So, when you do your duty like that, that duty is called nishkamya karma, which is nothing but service to the society. And even we can reduce our own needs. We think that it is need. Sometimes we get things from want, or we buy some things thinking that it is needed and it will be surplus. So we can analyze, and we can cut short our utilization, and we can serve to the society. So wherever there is a necessary, we can cut shorts all that and reduce the needs, and we can give it to others constantly. That we call it as nishkamya karma. So that nishkamya karma is nothing but selfless deed. Suppose we say or we do any action with expectation, or for our own benefits, actions undertaken with one's own benefits or gains in mind are called kamya karma. So out of desire we are doing that, that will not come under karma. So now we already discussed this. The body and mind is an asset of the society, right? So the body and the intellect of individual, that whatever we are today, the society take care and protect while growing up. Who all took care of us? Our parents. And who gave us the intellectuals here? Our teachers. And those who took care of our health? Doctors. So like that, we can go on list. So all are from the society. So they nurture and nourished. They provide with food and other substances for us to grow in a healthy manner with a good condition. So as again I can repeatedly say that this body and mind, whatever we are today, is from society, and we have no right to spoil. If we spoil ourselves, again the society to do the duties again to us only. So if you are not well, then we have to go to the hospital. Then so many people will take care of us again and again. So we are debted to do so many things. So now we go for basis of religion. there are so many religions in this world. We'll see about that also later when we talk about our Kundalini Yoga System, World Community Service Center. Now, when you talk about the religion, they say only two things mainly, that is awareness of God or God worship, or awareness of virtuous life. In Tamil, we say that Irai Unarvu Araneriyu. So these two things are basic concepts of all the religions. Now, when you say about virtuous life, morality, duty, and charity takes place. Now, what is morality? Every action should be within a limit and in consonance with the law of nature. And here Swamiji gives a definition that morality is not inflicting pain or injury on oneself or the others, physically or mentally, immediately or later, by thought, word, or deed. And we are saying this as a twofold culture also every day whenever we do our meditation, right? It's not just to say, dear, that we have to implement that in our life. We must strictly follow that. Okay, what here they mean? It should not exceed the limit. Say we say this is my hand. I swing as I like. Yes, it is only your hand. We can swing as much as we can. And how far we can swing? It should not touch other person. That limit you can use it. So once if it hit others, you are harming other person. That should not be done. Even for ourselves, there is a speed, limit in speed. We just can't swing our hand like as we like, or the force cannot be given. In that case, you're harming ourselves, right? So that is known as here within a limit. See, we can take so many examples. I can just give one more example. Suppose we go for a cinema, in the theater cinemas. See, people used to stretch their legs, saying that that whole seat is their seat. How far they can stretch? There is a limit. They can't touch others' feet, or the one who's sitting in the front row. At the same way, they can't stretch their hands, one which can hit those who are sitting at the back row. So like that. Even you can take our own self. So when we take a food, there is a limit in intake. If we take the limit of a limited meal, right, it will give you a good result. If we overeat, then the pain starts. You're harming yourself. So morality means we should not give pain or injury to oneself and to ourselves also. After morality, the duty comes. The Karma Yoga, we discuss only about duty, right? In this modern world, the lifestyle of the man is changing at every stage. His needs are increasing every day by day. What was considered as a luxury in the past has become the necessity in this present. So all the commodities are from the untiring effort of every world citizen. So actually, say I can say that one utilizes the labor of the other. That's what's happening. And Swamiji gives us one beautiful chain here. Individual indebted to the family indebted to society, the society indebted to the nation indebted to the world indebted to its citizen. So the citizen comes to individual. So it is a continuity process, right? So it is chain. So everyone is indebted. So everyone is duty bounded. So Again, as given here, it is the need to repay one's dues to the society through physical or mental efforts. Unfailingly is duty. Now the charity. See, we all say the charity begins at home, right? And when you take the people on the whole, we can divide them into two. That is haves and have not. People, those having everything, right? Wealth, health, and there is opportunity to give to others. And there are people seeking for the opportunities like that. They are haves and have not, the poor, right? Even among that have not, we can divide them into two categories again. Those who have no way to live, the other half, those who are not have, that is, there is no people to support them, unsupported people. So here Swamiji says in Tamil, right? Vaழ வழியற்றோர் ஆதரவு அற்றோர். So for them, the charity is a must. We just can't expect anything from those people, right? So when we conclude this, the morality is for the self. That is only for self. And duty is for self and others. And charity is only for others. You just can't expect anything from others. You shouldn't, right? So when you do this charity, it is not necessary that we must give only by money. You can do physical exertions also, the manual labor. How far we can do it. If you say, no, I am old, I can't do anything, then you must have the knowledge, right? We can share our knowledge to others. So now we all are in this Kundalini Yoga system. We are learning all this Sky system and we have started practicing. Now we know how it is, how we are enjoying, how we are benefited. So you can share that knowledge also to others and we can bring others into the spiritual life. That also charity. So here I can conclude saying for charity, destination should be totally eradicated. More than everything, lightening the spiritual light in everyone's life is a great charity. Now, when we fail to do all this, when we are not ready to do duty, the charity, then there increase poverty. Strictly speaking, poverty is man-made only. Definitely, it is not something which the destiny brought in. See, here Swamiji gives an example. We have some money, right, in the bank. We deposited some amount. And if we keep on drawing from our savings without depositing, what will happen? One fine morning, it will become zero very soon. Am I right? So, whenever we want to enjoy, we have to deposit every now and then. Whenever we have some savings without fail, we must enjoy. Only then we can draw continuously. And results for every action. This is what cause and effect. And we just can't expect the result as we want. See, we say, no, I studied this many hours. I studied 3 hours, so I must get 90%. I studied 5 hours, I need 100% mark. That is not in our hand. The result is not in our hand. Studying is in our hand, writing exam is in our hand. The result is only the teacher's hand. So similarly, here in general, the result is with the divine's law. And here Swamiji gives beautifully two examples. When we clap our hand, what we do? We forcefully bring both the palms together and touch, right? So immediately we get a sound. See, making the hands together, giving the force, everything is our effort. But from where the sound comes, that is the effect from the divine. Same way, there's one more example Swami gives here, which is very easy for us to understand. Eating, right? Eating is human deed. We eat. What happens after eating? We eat different types, no? Sweet, savories, and idli. Those are whatever we like, we eat. There's no limitations in that. But after eating, what is happening? It is transforming it into the 7 body constituents as juice, blood, muscles, fat, bone, marrow or brain, vital fluid. So the vital fluid, when it comes from the brain to the sexual glands, we call it as a sexual vital fluid. Okay. So, and how this all 7 are taking place within the body? The food only is getting into all this transformation, right? So that is nothing but act of the divine. So what we must understand here, you do your duty, don't expect anything. That is called nishkamya karma, which we saw earlier. Now, the religion common to all the world. Now, even in the previous, we were talking about the religion, right? The religion has only two principles. And in the world now, we see many religions and from many parts of the world. But the present world requires a new religion, taking every good ideology from every religion and without contradicting any. So here Swamiji says that Karma Yoga is the ideal one, is in all possibilities an alternative to all the religions. Just here Swamiji says without alternative to all the religions. And here the principles of Karma Yoga are very simple and which can be accepted by everyone. So because of different religion and we are getting some disturbances and see we are not in a position to accept. But whatever be the religion, whatever be the idol they pray, however they pray, we have no right to criticize. We must know, we must learn to accept them as it is. But if we have one religion all over the world, then definitely there's no chances for the conflict. Now we move on for practice. And here it's given the meditation and introspections. Why we must do all this? In karma, here this karma we say doings, right? Deed, a duty. By doing that, we have 3 types of karmas, namely Sanchita, Prarabdha and Agamya karma. To understand our own life, character and the situation we placed in, we must have clear understanding of the law of karma. We can analyze and realize to an extent how much our own deeds in the present life or the cause of events causes our pains and pleasures and how far the inherited factors are the cause for the same. So we can realize our own burden of responsibility to act righteously so that the future, which is the outcome of today's action, may be of minimal suffering and maximum happiness. So to minimize our sufferings and maximize our happiness, we must do meditation and introspections, right? And doing the introspection, we can change ourselves, and doing meditation, we make sankalpa, where the mental frequency comes down to alpha level. Right. So as in when you practice this meditation and introspection, we can definitely understand that good or bad not by others. And here we must understand that no one can harm others by their own choice. It is there in our karmic, or you can say that it's in our genetic center. So they can say the other way, if I have some sinful imprint within myself, if time has come to get rid of that sinful imprints, then the nature, the Almighty, will send a person to give some pain to me. So when I undergo some punishment, um, see, even if I do good for others, due to the sinful imprints, others will not take it as good. They try to find fault and they say, no, no, this is wrong, that is wrong. So you have to take this punishment. You do all that. So in that situation, we should not feel bad. And we have to think that one of my imprint is vanished. So one who gave me the pain, the punishment to me, I should bless the person because they cleansed my genetic center, or they purified my genetic center. And here there's a saying, no, Tidum Nandrum Piradara Vara. So definitely, uh, uh, unless and otherwise it's there in our genetic center, no one can harm us. So that is very, very important thing to understand. So without realizing that, if we get angry to that person, one who harm us, right? Again, we are, making more and more of sinful imprints, and which transform the evil qualities into more actually. So how can we avoid that? We have to transform the evil qualities into noble ones. And here, which will help us? Only the spiritual life, right? That is what is given here. Yogic and spiritual life purifies the practitioner as well as the others around him. That is what here the Jnanasriyas are doing in our system. They purify themselves and they train us to purify ourselves, right? So when we help others, then everything will be good. So spiritual life is nothing but virtual life. Now, Karma Yoga through Kundalini Yoga. See, here we learn Kundalini Yoga. We are learning. Do you all know how Swamiji beautifully define our Kundalini Yoga? This Kundalini Yoga practice as an integrated practice of recognizing and restructuring the body and mind for newly planned life. So, when we want get a newly planned life to change our life in a good manner, we must realize the fact that absolute Brahman, eternal space, and that the divine state, that all are one. So that is very important here. And the insight. So observe the concept. When you pray God, God Himself you find in the concept. It's a concept. That's Vedatri's sayings. And so here there are 10 principles or the 10 rules of Karma Yoga. Here the first one is we must respect for one's mother, father, guru, ruler and God. Why? Mother and father gave birth to and brought up us, right? And guru gives us knowledge, and ruler or the government is a protector. The Almighty is the source and origin of our being and living. So we must give respect to them. And the second one is realizing the omnipresent nature of the divine, including the consciousness within. See, when we don't do this, when we in the absence of this worship, ego will sprout and develop in man, and that in turn will generate all the 6 temperaments, starting with inordinate desire and cause wrong deeds, resulting in pain, problems, and miseries in life. So we must realize and we must conscious what is given here, including the consciousness within. That is very important. Then constant awareness to avoid harm through the use of thoughts, words, and deeds. That is what we were discussing about the morality. So here the next comes observe moderations in food, work, rest, sex, and thoughts. To have a physical health and mental health properly, or to lead a happiest life and successful life, definitely one must maintain these with the moderation, right? Otherwise, it will definitely lead into problem only. And all this 5 cannot be neglected, and it should not be overindulged also. And not only that, it should not be done improperly dealt with, right? So the next one here is lead a virtuous life. So from the beginning, we are talking about only the virtual life. That is morality, duty, and charity. So all the religions of the world have only the 2 main principles, core and goal, right? So that is worship of the Almighty for the development of consciousness and maintaining harmony and peace in the life of one and all of the society by following virtuously your life. So it is a must for us to follow. Then the 6th one is fulfill one's duties to self, family, relatives, country, and the world. This already we discussed. You can just have it in mind and continue and serve the society for spiritual emancipation and world peace, right? Treat womankind with respect. So as it is by grace of the nature that female sex is given the responsibility of conceiving, giving birth to, and raising all living beings. So all should understand the value of women and respect and appreciate them for the inevitable strain and pain imposed on them by nature. And this is the next one is very, very, very important to be followed. One should allot at least 1% of his income to be spent only for the health and welfare of the needy. So all that we try to bring in practice, and practicing meditation. So in order to achieve the purpose of life and develop one's consciousness, one must learn and practice meditation on the life force, which will result in peace of mind, physical health, and enlightenment of consciousness. So any deed becomes karma yoga here, that we understood. So whatever we do, whatever be the job we are doing, start loving the job. When you do the job with love, you can see the difference. And if you feel that you're finding it some difficulty in doing, learn the job. Okay. Try to learn, and that learning process will help us to come out with the difficulties. And while learning, we really enjoy ourselves. Then, after learning, implement whatever you learned. So now we learn Karma Yoga, the 10 points. We try to recall again and again and check whether we are following all the 10 points. So wherever we are following, put the tick. Whichever is not followed, we try to implement. So focusing in the mind. So everything is there in mind. Focus on the do meditations and expand your mind. We should not think within ourselves or within one who is next to us. Or expand your mind globally, right? And charming personality. Personality, here comes everything. Your thought, your structure, your the deed, the word, everything matters. So if everything is good, definitely we'll be the charming person, right? We'll definitely get the charming personality and the smiling face. See, as and when we understand everything, and if you feel that I'm doing it for the people. Uh, when you do that with love, then definitely our face is always a smiling face. The smiling face will definitely give confidence to others, and not only others, it will give the confidence to lead a life happily to us also. So, with this, we conclude the Karma Yoga concept. Um, and what do you say? Only thing we have, see, today we just discuss so many things, but just go home and recall everything. As I said, that introspection is very, very, very important. During the introspection, think about the karma yoga and put positives and negatives, and slowly avoid the negatives and add the positive side. One day we will be definitely a perfect person in this world. Thank you, one and all, for giving me this opportunity. Thanks to our guru and all the coordinators here. Thank you, one and all. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Thank you. வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Very nice topic. And very well explained, Amma.
வாழ்க வளமுடன், ஐயா.
Let us all bless our master for a beautiful session today. Let us all focus our mind in Dulya Chakra. By the grace of divine power, Arunidhi Bhagilakshmi Amma and family enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, wisdom, prosperity, and peace. Be blessed by divine. வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன். நன்றி அம்மா.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் ஐயா. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
One question, Amma. Okay,
Yes,
before I ask participants, if there are any questions, you may please raise the hand and we can ask the question. Any questions from participants? Okay.
Thank you, yeah. Thank you.
Let's wait for others to ask. Amma, one question. We are trying to take all these virtues into our day-to-day activities, Amma, and we have to keep on practicing. And there is one slide which was talking about the deeds of others and the acts of nature. These are all coming to take away our imprints. Right, Amma? And we are in the previous classes we understood the karma or the imprints will be passed on for next 7 generations.
Yes.
Or we are carrying last 7 generations, or sometimes
Yes.
even beyond this. So when these imprints are gradually going away and the imprints are still more to finish, at some point of time there comes a frustration that we will keep on doing good, but the recognition or achievement or sense of accomplishment is not coming. Then comes a frustration, Amma. How do we handle this, Amma?
Actually, Swamiji explains this with physical balance. Okay, we have 2 plates in the physical balance. On one side, we keep say 1 kg weighing. Okay, and other side we put the sugar, whatever it is, 1 kg. See, if the shopkeeper put 500 kg, that plate will not come up, right? So the shopkeeper go on adding till 950 grams. There is no change. But the moment he add little more, then the physical balance will come, show the balancing on 1 kg and along with the sugar, right? So like that, see, we hear people used to ask that I'm doing always good. Why? Because that if the Sanchita karma is only with the sin imprints, and now we started changing, like the started changing is adding sugar, or again and again. So once that balance, when it will come, only when it's all eradicated. So we have to wait. We don't know when that balance will be coming up. Right. It is applicable for both, whether it is a sin imprints or a good one. See, now we see people are doing so many unwanted things, and we see them being good. They enjoy their life. See, since they are enjoying their life, we can't say they are doing good. Because of their Sanchita karma they are enjoying, now they are doing all unwanted things that will be added as a sin imprints. As we added sugar here, that sin imprints will be added. One fine morning, this will be balanced. All the good imprints, what they had in Sanchita karma, will be eradicated. So they start suffering later. So we don't know how much the Sanchita karma is good within us, but definitely those who all are joining the sky system in this Manavada Kalai, definitely we all are having a good Sanchita karma, so we can just give a pat at the back of us. so, so we must be happy that, because in this Sunday evening, so for you morning, right? People used to enjoy with the TV and other the other entertainment. But why we are sitting here and thinking of all this, the good of others? So this is only because of good imprint. So we must express our gratitude to our elders or the grandparents. Yes, thank you.
Sure. Sure, Amma. One more
So
question,
there is
Amma.
no point in getting frustrated. That's what. Only because of that I just started saying. So there will be a turning point, like a physical balance.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Amma. So until that, we need to keep practicing our
Yes,
system and then wait for the turn.
yes.
Okay. Amma, and another question. See, sometimes children used to get some kind of genetic problems.
Yes.
And they say, like, when we go to doctors, they keep asking, did your mother or father had
Yes.
these
Yes.
symptoms?
Yeah.
Sometimes they go, your grandparents had, like that.
Yes.
And sometimes we may not even have such kind of symptoms in any of our family history or anything. And still, there are some disorders that are curable, some are not even curable, that these kids get them. So these karmic imprints.
Yeah.
So how do we take this, Amma?
Yeah, that's what. Actually, Swamiji's exercise, the physical exercise, rearrange the cells, right? It will order the cells. Suppose, I'm just giving an example. If the cells to be arranged in the form of A, B, C, D, that is a proper arrangement, if I say. If there is any change, the cells, if there is any problem, it must have arranged earlier A, C, D, B like that. Okay. So when we do this exercise, it will come back to ABCD, that the usual actual form, how it should be. So when the cells arrangements are changed to the normal, then definitely we can come out of that imprint or the whatever the problem, the genetic problems. So so once from 8 years onwards, when we start practicing this a physical exercise, and after 15 years if you start practicing kaya kalpa, all the imprints will definitely change. Yes, so we can definitely lead a good life.
Okay.
So all this genetic we can definitely change by doing this. Yes, I can give example in my family also. My grandfather, that is my husband's father, had diabetic patient, right? He's a diabetic patient. My husband's elder brother also a diabetic patient, but touch wood, we don't have that. Yes, so this is only because of our practice. This happened because when we say it is hereditary, even he must get that, right? But it is not so. So and so when the practice of our yoga system will definitely help us to come out of all that.
Okay, okay, Amma.
So even the genetic problems will be solved.
Sure, Amma.
So the next genetics will not get at all. Yes.
Okay. Sure, Amma. Sure, Amma.
I have done that, yeah.
And work scenario, there is one more question. I think we are still
Yeah, please.
little over
Please.
time. One more question, I'll finish up with that. We see like a lot of people come in our life.
Yes.
The best example is in office scenario, or even we can take family members as an example. Ideally, I would say like the office scenario is what at different points of time we get a different job assigned based on projects. It starts, it goes on for a while, and it finishes, and you'll work along with new team members.
Yes.
The old team will be gone, a new team will be coming,
Okay.
and sometimes we get very good team. We work well, and it's so happy, and suddenly it gets dismantled, and after that you move on to a next project which will be very painful. So
ups and downs, yeah.
yeah, sometimes that time we see like, okay, we have good karma, that's why we have a good team. Everyone is so nice, everyone is so straight, honest, and very dedicated, hardworking, and all those things happen. So that time we feel happy, okay, we are so blessed. And the very next project, it'll be totally upside down. So is
See,
that similar to our life partner, Amma?
uh,
But at least life partner, we know, okay,
see,
they are like,
no, life partner completely based on our karma only, our Sanchita karma only. That is according to our genetic center. Swamiji say like to make one doll, one side mold. If it is one side mold is ready, then other side mold will be ready according to this mold only. We can't fix any other size.
okay.
So, so if we get a good life partner, our karma is good. If we don't get, then it is not so.
So by birth time itself, it is decided, Amma, how our life partner
No,
is going to be.
that actually that is imprinted that time. But by practice, when you do all your meditations and all that, even now we can ask the children, right? While when we see, I must get a good life partner, one who can understand me, one can take care of me, like that. We can do the sankalpams like that. So that
Okay.
will definitely come into action. See now, why there's a problem, I'll tell you. Nowadays, the children are watching movies. They are thinking that in the cinema, heroes are real heroes and characters. And they think, I like to have a husband like this. I like to have a wife like this, which is not possible in a real life. That real life is not real life, right?
Okay.
So, which is not possible at all. So those characters, those things, when it definitely we can't get the same, that leads to problem only. So that expectation leads to problem in the family. So we must get a life partner, one who take care of me. That's it. That ends.
Sure, Amma. So in project scenario, should we consider that as a acts of planet, Amma?
Exoplanet also there, and I can just casually I can say, even now I said the movie example. Even recently I saw I mean, saying like that even 2 hours movie, to enjoy the movie we need villain, right? Only then we can appreciate the hero. So in the lifelong process, for only good things, we can't feel that goodness of the good. So here and there, if we see a small problems, we accept and go ahead. And definitely, there won't be any problem which we cannot face. That assurance we can give when we do meditation. So sometimes we feel overload, overworking. One may be understandable, one may not. So we have to take care of so many things as a teamwork. So when you talk about the teamwork, there's a lot of work, a lot of planning work to be done, and that plan to be accepted by all the people. So, so there are so many things which we have to take care.
Sure, Amma.
But once
Okay.
you start meditation, and in the meditation itself, with that frequency, you decide the plan that will come into action without any disturbance. Yes.
Sure.
Even while assigning work to somebody, suppose you are the team leader, you are assigning some work to somebody, you give that Arudkap production, and then give it, let that person complete the work on time properly as I expect, or more than my expectation, like that. Then the work will be done beautifully.
Okay. Nice, Amma. I think I never tried that. So,
We can bless and put the Arudkap, நல்ல ஒரு protection
yes, Amma.
போட்டு.
நான் இதற்கு அப்படி காலையில கிளம்பும்போது we will while starting the work or going to the work, when you just step out of home, we will do that.
Okay.
But
Try
I
for
think,
others. You do this
yes.
for others, they should do it. Even when you send children for the school, just
Yes.
put Arudkapu for them, right? They should go to school,
Okay.
enjoy themselves. Then they should learn properly, grasping that all the powers to be that we discussed earlier, right? All the 7 things: the receptivity, perspicacity, creativity, adaptability, tolerance, simplicity, magnanimity. All the 7 traits must be there for us and for our children to enjoy the life or to lead the life peacefully. So you can just think of all this and bless them and send to school. Yeah, that will definitely work out.
Sure, Amma. நன்றிங்க அம்மா. I think you've well explained all my doubts. Thank you, Amma. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் ஐயா. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Well, let's hand over to Prabhuya for our next session. Any participants got any questions? Okay, there are no questions, Amma. I think we can conclude with this session, Amma. Thank you so much for this wonderful
Thank
session.
you very much for the opportunity given. Thank you all. Thank you very much, and to Arulaya also. My special thanks and pranams to him too. Thank you.
நன்றிங்க அம்மா. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் ஐயா. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Shall I take leave?
Yes, Amma.
Thank you. What is the next topic? பண்பாட்டு கல்வி. Okay.
பண்பாட்டு கல்வி.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, I'll be there for some time and then I'll take the leave. Thank you.
Sure, Amma.
Thank you.
வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். So with this, we are moving into next session, 2-fold principles and 5-fold principles, conducted by Arulnidhi Prabhuya அவர்கள். I think Prabhuya is just finishing a meditation initiation. Prabhuya, are you available, Ayya? Or we will wait for 2 minutes? Okay. I request participants to just be on hold for a while. Let me check them parallelly on a phone.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் ஐயா.
ஓ அம்மா, ரெக்கார்டிங் பாஸ் பண்ணி வைக்கலையா? சரி. அம்மா கிளம்பிட்டாங்களா?
ஜாயின் இப்பதான் கிளம்பணுங்க ஐயா.
சரி. ரெக்கார்டிங் திரும்ப ஆரம்பிச்சு விட்டுருங்க ஐயா, வகுப்பு ஆரம்பிச்சதும்.
சரிங்க ஐயா. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேர் எனேபிள் பண்ணுங்க.
நீங்க ஷேர் பண்ணிக்கோங்க ஐயா.
சரிங்க.
வரேன். நான் அது அவரு தான் கொடுக்கணும். நான் ஹோஸ்ட் நான் எடுத்து உங்களுக்கு நான் கொடுத்துட்றேன்.
கொடுத்தாச்சுங்க, போட்டுங்கய்யா.
போட்டீங்களா? சரி. நான் நீங்க இருக்கிறது நான் கவனிக்கல. சரி, வாழ்க வளமுடன். இந்த கொடுத்துட்றேன் உங்களுக்கு. சரி, ரெக்கார்டிங் திரும்ப கண்டினியூ பண்ணி விட்டுருங்கய்யா.
சரிங்க.
be blessed by the divine. So we are going to talk about the culture, fivefold and twofold moral culture. So what is culture or பண்பாடு? Is the if the activities which gives benefits now and in the future for self and others, as well as it is within the limit and method. When those become habits, those are called, that is called பண்பாடு or culture. So over the period of time, based on the time, the knowledge at that point in time, or the situations, different cultures have evolved, and those are for the betterment of human race. So culture is evolution of habits towards betterment, and the perfection is culture. So and those becomes habits as well. So that is very important. You do as a habit, and but that is helping you. That is, but so to the betterment and perfection of people, right? So eventually, the bottom line is seeing divinity in everything is the bottom line of any activity that we do. And by seeing divinity in everything, you don't inflict pain upon others, right? Physically or mentally. And those are the cultures, right? And helping others in their distress. So our twofold moral principle itself is covered here. So even if you have intelligence, if you lack human spirit, that compassion and that human spirit, then you will not be really called you will still be treated like a tree only. Right? And the key thing which makes a person cultured, human cultured, is love and civilized manners, love and compassion. Now, culture, what we have seen is culture has evolved over a period of time, depending on what was people's knowledge, the situations, depending on various factors at that point in time. Everything evolves, and everything has evolved. So culture has to evolve as well. One of the major problems that we have is there are a lot of habits or a lot of activities that we do as part of the culture, which was good at some certain point in time, but it may not yield the same benefits now. So what has to happen? The cultures need to evolve as well. So earlier in the olden days, if women were not going out and doing work, maybe the problem was security. But now security is all there. There is so everybody should be able to work, right? And earlier caste system was there because the knowledge of something is the way it was passed is through the parents teach their children what they do. That's how knowledge was being passed. Then automatically a group of people who do certain things are part of a certain caste. But now everybody has the facility, right? Everybody has the opportunity to learn anything. And everybody is given all opportunities to excel in any field, whether it could be economics or money, trade, or knowledge or any kind of work. So you don't really need to group a certain people. Even in the same family, people might be able to do different things. So you can't group a set of people as a specific caste, right? So those have to evolve. So when they don't evolve, then they create problems. So whatever Maharishi has said, human life should undergo reforms. Many deeds have evolved corresponding to the space and time and need of the period. If any such deed or concept may cause harm to our present thought or experience, we shall shun them. So that is very important. So what we have seen, cultures how to be reformed. And bad habits should be avoided. So bad habits can intoxicate you and your mind will get addicted and eventually it get chained and not able to come out of that habit. Eventually that particular habit causes pain to self and others. So bad habits should be avoided and we should identify actions which gives beneficial effects and should follow them. Learning and staying as per what you have learned is a great thing. That's what Kural says. And virtue, Olukam, is more than the life. Because that brings the nobility. So virtue has to be considered superior to life. That is what the sayings from this Quran. So some of the key bad habits, right? So we have seen in Vedatrium from ego, you get this aggressiveness and possessiveness, then all the other 6 habits come into play. But there are some evil habits that has to be shunned away as well. One is intoxication. It traps the mind. Intoxication traps the mind and eventually you get addicted and your mind will not be able to operate the way you want, and mind evolution is actually stopped and you are actually addicted. And war, the intention of war is never right. If there are any conflicts, those can be talked and solved. There is no need of war. And the untruth, right, lies, trying to deceive others, that's definitely is not a good habit. And tobacco is another bad habit. Those have to be avoided as well. So in Jnanamum Valvum, one of the saying is, not inflicting harm to others is virtue, no need for anything more. That itself covers everything. Even if you're not helping others, it's a secondary thing. But if you're not inflicting harm to others, that's the key virtue. So everything else is secondary actually. Okay. Now let's come back to the refined culture. We talked about this is the high level, right? What Maharishi has devised, but it covers everything. The reformed culture, right? So these are the 5-fold moral code, right? Live by own efforts. If you are living by others' efforts, then that brings it doesn't. Eventually, you will try to use the other person because you are not living by your own effort. Then a lot of conflicts and issues will come into play. So it is a right to live. It's always good to live by your own effort. Otherwise, you will try to trap people, try to deceive people. It will pay way for a lot of other bad habits if you are not able to live by your own efforts, and will not harm anyone, physically or mentally, right? That's very important. And will not kill for eating. So other living beings, they are also representation of the divinity, right? Everything has evolved from the divinity. So but will not kill for eating is the third virtue. And respect and protect others' property and liberty. So eventually, if everybody follows this, yours liberty and property is also protected. So that is very important as well. And finally, help others in their distress. So somebody is given more, somebody is given less, depending on different situations. And helping others eventually kind of balances to a certain extent and keeps the peace in the society. So this is the fivefold moral code given by our Maharishi. Eventually covers everything. Any action that we do, if we can follow all these five, then it shouldn't harm. I mean, eventually it will bring good to you now and for the future as well. So this is at a high level. So how do you implement it? So in order to implement the fivefold moral culture, committee of intellectuals should be formed. So for the betterment of life, right? And reform is always needed. This is like when you have to go to details, constantly it has to be changed, right? With the confluence of proper time and place, many actions came up in the past. If any of those actions is not palatable today, by thought and experience, we shall avoid them, right? And like, the important thing is committee of intellectuals, right? And they should not be thinking about their own benefit. And we always talk about the democracy, right? It's a people's decision. The challenge there as well is that not all people are fully aware of what is happening. So the representative is always tries to satisfy, try to satisfy a group of people, right? Then whatever the rules or the laws that are arrived by those representatives may not be in the best interest of everyone. That's why it is said that committee of intellectuals is very important. So it's the duty of the intellectuals to help refine the culture, and eventually it can be debated and can be finalized. So to simplify the overall moral culture, so Maharishi has further simplified. If five-fold code is lot to remember, right? Twofold moral culture. So I shall not inflict pain upon others physically or mentally. It has to include myself as well, for now and the future, right? It has to include all those things. So by that way, you are covering, you are not doing intoxication, you are not using tobacco, you are not harming anybody else for your own benefits. All those things will be covered. And if next one, I shall try to help others in distress, right, in all possible ways. So that covers the compassion, the charity, and other habits. So these are the two. These are the two full moral culture rules that our Maharishi has given. So then we have talked about both twofold and fivefold even before this session. So if there are any specific questions, we can talk about it. So Maharishi's thought is that let us refine our culture and earn the goodwill of all. Don't continue to follow what it was there, but at the same time, you need to have something as culture. Only when those something becomes habits and it is being followed by a lot of people, then we can see the benefits. And it has to become a habit. It can't be a one-off thing. So that's why it is very important to refine our culture by a committee of intellectuals, and eventually everybody should follow that as a new culture. Be blessed by the divine. Yeah, it's a very short session. Any specific questions?
Thank you, Prabhaya, for the good session today. Let us all bless Prabhaya for the wonderful session. Let us all focus our mind in the Dilya Chakra. By the grace of divine power, Arunidhi, Prabhaya and family enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, wisdom, prosperity, and peace. Be blessed by divine. வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன். நன்றிங்கய்யா.
நன்றிங்கய்யா. Be blessed by the divine.
Any questions from any participants? You can raise the hand and ask questions. Mahadev, Vidya Balama, any questions?
Mahadev and Vidya are are there for a long time, right, in our Maharishi's teaching. So any questions if you can ask, otherwise I think you would already know most of it.
Yeah. Good, yeah. I think there are no questions for us. Possibly we can wind up for today's session.
Thank you. Yeah,
Pradipaya. Any questions for Pradipaya?
no, yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, yeah, then.
வாழ்த்து பாடி நிர்வகிச்சுக்கலாங்களா?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. பாடிக்கலீங்களா உலக நல வாழ்த்து?
Yes, yeah, I can sing. Yeah.
Okay.
Blessings for the world. May rain pour on all parts of the world timely and sufficiently. May food grains grow abundantly to the satisfaction of all living beings. May the leaders of all nations progress in spiritual knowledge and do good services to humanity. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine.
Thank you all for participating in today's session. By the grace of divine power, all the participants who joined in today's session, them all enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, wisdom, prosperity, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. Thank you, one and all. We conclude today's session by this. Thank you.
Thank you, ஐயா. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm ending the session.
சரிங்க, I think session end பண்ணிடலாம் நினைக்கலாம். வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Uh,